at Jessiemarie Stitches. This is a channel that's primarily about cross stitch, but sometimes it's going to be about wool applique or embroider or whatever it is that's piquing my interest at the time, and some little bit of life updates as we go along. I also am on Instagram, and I do have a website that I will put those links down below in the description box. The website is definitely a work in project as I'm learning and going along. It's something that I decided to, do for the fun of it and for the learning experience. Anyway, anything that I talk about today, I will put the links below in case you're interested. I was writing letters the other day, which I do frequently because I like snail mail, and I like getting snail mail, and I like sending snail mail. I like stationery and writing and handwriting and matching up the stationery to my stamps and all of the things that go with it. It's just my thing. It's just something I've always liked. But as I was going through cards, and I make cards, so the fact that I actually have bought cards is kind of funny, but some days it's just easier to have a card on hand that I bought rather than one that I took the time to make. And I happened to find this one that apparently I bought last year. So here we are, 2020, best year ever, because that's what I thought it was going to be, and that's what I think we all thought it was going to be. We had high expectations, and it was an okay year. It wasn't a fabulous year. I know it was a very hard year for a lot of people, and we've all had our struggles as we've separated and distanced, and people have been sick and had deaths in the family and job losses and just problems, and that we're all looking forward to this coming year, and with the hope that things will be better. And so with that being said, this was my little funny thing that I found, and it made me laugh. In fact, I'm probably going to put it in my journal so that I remember, because it just made me laugh that day. And then the other thing is that one of my friends from high school IM'd me the other day on Instagram and was like, oh my gosh, I just happened to come across you, and I just got done watching all of your videos and wanted to catch up. And it was so sweet that she thought of me, and she had some very kind words to say, and I appreciated her reaching out to me. Oh, and I'll start crying. I'm a crier, I admit it. And then I think of her quite often, and have over the years. When we first got out of high school, every year she would send me some little Christmas ornament, and they hang on my Christmas tree to this day. And then one year this is how often I think of her, because of this silly thing that I'm going to show you, which is like nothing in her world. But one year she sent me these 3 placemats that I thought they were so beautiful. And it was just so kind of her to think of me that year. And one of them, this one right here, which has a big wrinkle in it, and I keep forgetting to iron it out. This one sits under my keyboard over there under my computers and has for forever. It's always sat under my keyboard. And so whenever I'm working at my computer, which is every single day for quite a few hours, because I work from home now, so it's even more than it used to be. When I see this, I think of her. And so, Kathy, I think of you every day for as long as we've been out of high school, which has been years, decades. Anyway, I just thought that I would share that with you. It was so fun to hear from her and to share a quick message. And so that was very sweet. Well, here we are several minutes into this, and I haven't even talked anything about cross stitch. I can show you a lot of the things I didn't get done this week because I've just struggled. And this one is not one I got finished this year. This is actually a picture that I finished last year and framed. I actually pulled the pattern for it. It's by Monastarium Designs, called Valentine, and they had done it red on white, but I had this Laguna, and I just thought it would be so fun to do it white on red. And so last year I stitched this up and had it ready for Valentine's Day and hung it on the wall. But I can't think of what they're called. Those little pointy things that you stick in the back of your pictures to hold the picture in. I couldn't find them last year, and I just held it in like when I was showing it. And when I stuck it up on the wall, it's like, it worked as long as it was on the wall, but if anybody happened to slam the door, it would fall off the wall because it was hanging by the front door. And I bought a package of those little, I cannot think of what they're called. You know what they are. Those the little things that go inside pictures that hold the picture in, and you put them in the back in the frame. Well, I can't find them, and I refused to buy another package. So this was my husband's way to fix it for me, so that I can hang it up next month, not next week. And so yeah, so this will hang on my wall. That was one of my little finished things, which is far from the way that I want it done, but you know what? It got it taken care of for the moment. And then the other things that I did not get done, sorry, they're sitting right next to me on this chair, is I wanted to get this little shepherd's bush pincushion taken care of, but I didn't get the beads or the trim or the buttons sewed onto it like I had hoped. But hopefully I will get to that this week, because I just got busy stitching and I forget about it. And then the other thing that I was going to finish is this little, I can't think what they're called, and I never can, Biscornu pincushion. That was from the EGA. It was on their website. It was a freebie, and it was a little Halloween. I think they had theirs done with black stitches or orange stitches, and I have all the little pieces I need to. I just haven't taken the time to put it together, and so I plan to get that one done. Maybe I'll do nothing but pincushions on Saturday. And then the other thing, actually two, and the reason they didn't get done was because I could not find, sorry for the crinkling pattern, was I could not find a picture frame. I finished stitching my Plum Street sampler. I did it a little bit different than it was in the pattern. I eliminated this portion right here, this Jane Austen portion, because I don't care to see it gigantic and large, and I know who said this, and it's just for my own kicks and giggles anyway. But I couldn't find a frame for this. But it did get done, and I showed you last time. I did it on 28 count Lugana. And instead of doing a single border, I did a double border. And yeah, like I said, I eliminated the name down here, and then I added these little beads up here. And I think I darkened up the pink. Yeah, I darkened up the pink. And now that I'm looking at it, see, it's a good thing I didn't stitch it or frame it, because I forgot his mouth. He has no mouth. So I'll be putting his mouth in, but I'm having a hard time locating a frame. And right now it gets to be locating, because I'm finding frames at my local thrift store. Purchasing a frame right now is not in our budget. My husband lost his job back in September, and so we're budgeting very well. But this was not one I showed last week, but I had planned on getting it put in a frame. And again, because I have like probably 50 frames that I've collected over time, and you would think that one of them would fit this, but they were either like just big enough or gigantic. And so I didn't get that framed, but I did find a frame. And I painted it. So I just have to put it in there. And so I'll get that done this week. So if I get that and my 2 pincushions done, I will be doing good. Sorry, I keep leaning on the table. It's habit. But I did work on my stitching this week. And so, oh, I forgot to grab my calendar. Let me go grab it. Sorry about that. I thought that I had grabbed everything and I still forgot something. So what I've been working on this week, some of my whips were, I've been working on these Fun Everyday. It's a perpetual calendar by Sam and Sarah. And each month comes with a little leaflet. There's, I don't know what one that is. January, March. So March is these tags. And these are April's, and I have this one done for April. I didn't do the other ones. That just was the one that piqued my fancy that day. And then this is the flyer that I'm working on right now. And I think instead of doing all 4, that I'm going to do the months and then the weekdays first before I finish these, just because I want to see the month ones every time I I can look at the month all month. I don't know how to say that better. Anyway, this is what they look like when they're done. Hold that up a little bit higher. This is the little calendar stand that I purchased, and it took months to come just because it happened to be right as COVID hit. And the gal that had these, the shop that had these, she ended up getting sick, and so it was several months before that came. But these are the tags that I have done. Tuesday, I have a little January tag. I have October's tag done because I thought that was fun. This is just like a filler card. I have the one, oh, I can't remember what one's underneath, maybe 4. Nope, 0, 1 and 0. And then on the end, sorry, they're swinging back and forth. I have the raindrops, and I had the little pumpkin for October. October was fun. And then I had done this one for November, for Election Day, because I won't be able to use it again for a while, and I wanted to get it done and use it. And I did get it done in time to use it. And so that's my little calendar that I'm working on, and I decided that I want to get 2 tags done every month. Sorry, I'm looking to see where my little basket is. I thought it was closer. This is my little basket, just as a side note. This goes with me to bed. This is not the one that sits by my stand. This is like hand projects that I can do. I used to have a bigger basket that had like all of my projects in it, but that was just too big. And so now I just have this little basket, and it has like things that I need. Scissors, eyeglasses, stylus, pen, marker. My phone has room for my remote. Has my water generally. Has some hand lotion, paper, and then it has whatever little hand projects I'm working on currently. And so right now, in fact, I'll probably take it out this week because I finished my tags for this month. And so those little fun tags, the Samsara tags, right here, you stitch them on perforated paper, which looks like this, and you cut it down to size, which the last time I cut them, and I was so incredibly sad because I cut them that much too short. So I will be moving these over to my, hey, you're making Christmas ornaments with them, and not, hey, you're making tags with them. This one's already started, which is why it's got string hanging from it. Anyway, you cut them down to size. They're like 74 by 32. And so, and then you stitch on them. 2 strands. The count is 14 count. But anyway, I'll be putting those little extra ones in my little project bag for making Christmas ornaments. But I got Friday done. So there's Friday, and it's fun little colors. And you can use the colors that they recommend. They suggest that you just use colors from your stash, and so it's been a little bit of both. I think this was Concord by Weeks. I'm looking at it to see. These are DMC colors. This is just Ecru and 3871, maybe. And this was supposed to be Sweet Potato by one of the fancy floss companies, but I changed it out to a DMC red. I think it's 347 because I wanted it more red than I wanted it orange. So there's that little tag. So that one got done. And then here's February. And this one also was, yeah, it was just stuff out of my stash. So I had this. This was a DMC color. This again is, I think it's the equivalent of grit, so it's 3865 and not actually grit. This was a random, sorry, I'm looking at the picture because I can't remember, I can't see where I'm pointing to. This was a random floss. I had like a JP Coates floss from I don't know when. And this also was a DMC Variations. Variations, is that what you call it? They're, oh my gosh, variegated floss. I don't remember the names, and I don't remember the number, but anyway, I just cut it so that like all of the light was on one section of strings, all the dark was on another section of strings, and then that's how I stitched that. So that turned out cute, and I'm pretty pleased with those, and that makes me happy that in February I can fling the month up there, and if I get some of my other projects done, maybe I will work on another tag this month instead of something else. Anyway, here's my little project bags that go in my basket. They're just makeup bags that I picked up at DI, the thrift store. And I must have just hit the day right because none of them had been used. They were all clean and fabulous, and this one is so funny. It's a Clinique bag. I had wanted this bag forever but refused to buy the product. I just wanted the bag. Anyway, I got the bag for $1 and it makes the perfect project bag. One of the other things that I've been working on was this Plum Street Sampler, the Sweetheart Hill. I want to get this done by Valentine's Day and framed so I can put it up with my other Valentine decorations. And I did not use the call for color on the house because I did not have it, but I do have the Oscar for this green, and I haven't decided if I'm going to use the called for. I don't know what it is. Something white, eggshell. I might just pull something out of my stash. But I did find the other flosses, so that was fun. But I love it because who doesn't love a house with a ton of windows? I love windows. I don't like cleaning windows, which I do a lot of because I have a lot of windows. But I do like windows. And here is how far I got. Last month I was working on the house, and I finished the house, and I've got the windows in, and I'm working on the door. And I think right here I might have to make an adjustment because the hill comes up there. See where the hill comes? But, you know, I got to stitching along on the red and just completely forgot that I needed to make an adjustment for that. And so this is stitched on 36 count. I think I said winter or French vanilla last time, but it's actually winter moon. And it's showing up a little bit wider than it actually is in real life. That's a little more true to color. It's got a little more yellow in it than it's showing up. But I made some good progress on that. I got the house done, which is, you know, the biggest thing on it. So that was good. And that's what I've been stitching on. That and and I had it. Hang on. It's gigantic. That's why it's down here. And I'll have to probably put a picture because I'm not going to take it off. I just got it onto the roller frames last night. I've been working on, let me show you this first. It was a sampler out of this Crossstitch and Country Crafts magazine from 1990. It's the May-June issue. And this is the Glory of Whitework sampler. And here's the sampler. And I am making this for my niece because she said that she really, really liked it. And because I love her and she never wants anything, and the fact that she actually expressed interest in something that I like to do was very awesome. So I'm making it for her. And so here is what I've been working on this week. I have to move my basket so I can get it down into frame. I finished these and finished this and put this row in. I think I had couched this one, but I couched this one. There's a thread in there. Put the beads on, did the alphabet, and then last night I stitched all of the little satin stitch across here in the X's and started on the next letter down here. And that was my evening. Here's my little, I showed you guys this last time. This is my little thread catcher or needle minder. I don't know what you call them. It just makes me happy. It was a snowflake that my mom and dad gave me one year for Christmas to put on my jacket because every year, like I have 30 plus pins for Christmas, and I turned it into a needle minder because I want to see it more often than just on my jacket at Christmas. So, yeah. So that's on my frame. I had to take off one of my other projects. And one of the project that I took off my frame is one that I did not work on this week. And every time I set it down on this table, it sticks because this table is metal. And it has a needle minder on it. But this is my unicorn tapestry. And I just thought that was so fun and loved the colors. And I really like unicorns. I have since I was in school, you know, 109 years ago. And so I picked this up from Tiny Modernista. And I'm stitching it on. It's not actually the called for color, because of course the day that I was looking I didn't remember what it was, but it's being stitched on 28 count Rivera. Oops, let me find something to put behind it. Here, where's the pattern? So I'm still where I was last week. I still have this unicorn done, and I haven't done anything else. Because I'm trying to get that sampler done before the end of January, and so I literally have not stitched on anything else. Everything is going to be the same called for colors except for this and this. They were originally very orange, and I'm not particularly fond of orange. These were the two colors that they were, the main and the flag, and I swapped them out for two DMC colors, which are redder. So I went from this, sorry, I can't hold it, there. I went from these to those. I just darkened them up so that they're more red. And so that's what I'm using there and in the flag. And probably any place that the oranges are throughout the sampler. So it'll be the other random little orange flowers. So I'm pretty happy with that. And again, we'll be stitching on that as soon as I finish my Whitework sampler. Because I am trying so hard to get it done by her birthday and not, 6 months later like the one that I stitched last year for her birthday. And then after I get that Whitework sampler done, the other thing that I can stitch on is this. Because this has been put to the side July, August of '89. This, again, the same Crossstitch magazine. And I decided after 30 some years that I want this stocking. And so I am in the process of making it. I've made some changes, so that's slowing my progress down a little bit. I decided I don't want the quilt in there. I'm not a huge quilter, and even though I don't have this lovely, beautiful window that's I'm putting in here, I wanted a window by the sewing machine because I do have a sewing machine and a little stand, and so I've had to move all of this. And so here's my working copy of this other one. And so I am taking this window and this nativity and moving it into here. I'm putting the window here and I'm putting the nativity over here. And I loved the wreath though, so I kept the wreath and I'm putting it, I'm hanging it in the middle of the window. And so here's where I'm at on this. But again, this is not getting worked on until I finish Samantha's sampler. Because I want to get it done on time and I'm slow. But here's where I'm at. Sorry, I was taking off the little magnety doodads. So I have the cuff done except for this little smudgy part right here. And I have to do my outlining right there. But I've got the window done down to where, got the window done down to where the sewing machine's going to kick in. And I'm building a garland up here to fill in where the nativity was. And yeah, that's where I'm at. And that's where it's going to have to stay till the end of January, which makes me very sad. But that's okay. Because fun is coming, right? I will get back to it. Sorry, I'm sticking my needles in because they flung out when I was moving it around. So that's where that stands. So this is what it was looking like, and this is where I'm at. And those are, there you can kind of see the differences on what's going on. And my girlfriend Carrie is stitching this. She stitched like a crazy person. She stitches them all up super fast. Anyway, she stitched them for her family when her kids were little and growing up. And she did her husband and her, the kids, and now she's done like the spouses as they've gotten married and the grandkids. So she's amazing. But she's working on one for her daughter, and she's putting in a dress form right here because her daughter doesn't stitch, but her daughter does sew quite a bit. And so she asked for a dress form, and so she got a dress form pattern, and so she's adding that and then readjusting because why not? So that's my projects that I'm working on or plan on working on over the next month. I had just a little bit of haul that I had ordered back before I felt like I could order stuff. And one of them is this cardinal basket, and I don't remember where I ordered it from. Oh, I do too. Homespunsamplr. I had it written down. Hang on. I think it's Homespunsamplr. Yep, Homespunsamplr on Instagram. Sorry. And so I love cardinals. I love cardinals. They were my dad's favorite bird, and they have a beautiful song, and state bird of Illinois, even though I'm not from Illinois, but he was. Anyway, so all of my sisters and I and my mom are all big cardinal fans. We're big cardinal fans. And you know, whenever you see a cardinal, it's one of your loved ones visiting you. And my mom has one that comes and sits on her doorknob. So I guess that's my dad. And then I also got this Prairie School leaflet. And I just thought these angels were adorable. I don't know why I like them. Because they're black. And I'm not I like color. But I thought that they were very fun. So I ordered those, and I probably won't be working on those or the cardinals until Christmas, and I got it at the same place, the Homespunsamplr on Instagram, or Etsy, sorry. And so those are my two purchases. And other than that, I was just going to show you some of the things that are on my radar for this next year. I would say that I have them all planned out, but I don't actually. Where's my basket? Sorry. But I did. This was the biggest thing I accomplished this week, was I decided to do WIPGO. I wasn't going to do it. Like, I decided, it's just like, that's too much. I don't want to feel, yeah, I'm going to try it. I'm trying WIPGO this year. So I got my WIPGO calendar printed out and put in the different things that I'm going to be working on. I put several of them in twice so that, because I want them done. I don't like to have tons of projects going on. And so I got a couple squares where they're in there more than once. And these were the ones that got called this month. The free, if you haven't heard of WIPGO, I'm sure you have. If you're a cross stitcher, Jessiemarie Stitches started this I thought it was a very awesome, because I love games, way of working on your projects. And so yeah, so each month she will call 2 numbers, and this month she called 3 just because free happened to be the first spot. And so that's why that one's already marked off, and then you just work on them when they get called, and you can set it up, however you want. Put your projects in wherever you want, decide on what your goal is for them, on when they're going to be worked. And so that's my little WIPGO chart. And so that was my big accomplishment for this month, or this week, was getting that, because I sure wishy-washied back and forth about it. But other than the things I'm going to work on, some of the things that are on my radar, a lot of them are things that I'm currently working on. And one of them is, I have all of these, and this was actually the first thing I got when I got back into cross stitching. And ironically enough, it's the one that I did not work on the most. So I got all of the little Country Cottage Needleworks glitter village houses, because I love them. Look, they're so cute. The little church. Cute little house. Love the pink little house. They're just all adorable. I mean, look at the little snowman. Yeah, there isn't anything I don't like about them. I love little houses. One day I'll show you the little houses I have up above the doors that my mom gave me. She had them up above her doors. They're the Hallmark ornaments that they came out with one every year. Anyway, so those are the fun little houses. I decided to do them on the called for fabric, which is, because I have one of the little things right here, Zweigart's 32 count raw linen silver. And I loved it because it was so sparkly. But then when I stitched on it, I don't know why. It was just so hard, and then I had problems. And I'm sure that it was just all me, but because it was one of the, like I said, it was the first thing that I gravitated towards when I got back to stitching. Anyway, I'd never stitched on linen. The sparkles threw me off. I don't know what it was, but I just really struggled with this. I had to pick this out twice because I got this part, I think I got this part done. And then when I went to stitch this little arch here over the door, I found out that I was 2 stitches off. Yeah, I just struggled. But anyway, so I want to get back to this and get this done. Even if I just do a house a month, I would be super, super happy because I would like to get it done. And here's all my cute little flosses. They're in bags, so they're not as cute as when they're dangling, but I love the colors. I just love them. They're fun, and they were for my first fancy flosses. And then the other thing that I'm working on that's on my radar, we'll see how many of these get done this year, because the majority of these were on last year's radar. Because I have this Dimensions kit that also I got at the beginning of last year that I thought would be fun to have up at Christmas time. And so I'm going to be working on that, and I actually started it last year. So I guess technically you can count it as a working project, but I had an absolutely abysmal start because this is all I got done. Just the snow on a branch. That's it. And then I decided I remembered why I'm not particularly crazy to stitching on Ada, because it tends to be kind of stiff sometimes. And this is stiff, and these are done with 6 strands, and it was kind of like, you know, after stitching with 2 strands or 1 strand, I can't remember what my village is, and then going to this, it was like stitching with rope. But I do love the pattern, and I am going to get it done. So I'm working on that. I am working on, or I'm waiting till I get done with Sweetheart Hill, because one of the things I want to do, and I haven't even picked out fabric for it, is this Pink Hill Manor by Blackbird Designs, because I think it would be so cute to do and hang up with my Valentine stuff. I love it. I love the pink house. I love pink. I love pink, if you can't tell. I love pink. Pink. Yeah, I love pink. And red. And purple. But I really like pink. And so I would like to work on that. I would also like to work on, this is one from Hands Across the Sea. It's one of the little gems. And I would like to work on this. Only 1 rose. Because I just thought it was very sweet and had a very sweet sentiment. There may be many flowers in a man's life, but only 1 rose. It's just, yeah, it's adorable. So I'm looking forward to starting that. And I would love to have those 2 done by February, but I'm not holding my breath because I know how I function. A couple of the other things that I have either kitted up or on my radar is this Cricut collection called Walk in the Woods. And I think I might have showed it last week. I can't remember. 2 weeks ago. Loved it. Saw it at my local needlework shop. It was stitched up on the wall, and I love it. I love the fact that it has all the little nature things, the bird and the snail and the butterfly and the feather and the nest, and of course the little teeny tiny violets. So I'm hoping to get that stitched up this year. And I pulled all the flosses for it, but I don't have a fabric picked for it, mostly because I keep wishy-washing between the whatever the called for fabric is, which looks like it's something. Imagine that. It's something. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Whatever the called for fabric that's creamy looking. I was debating about that or going something like a little bit purpley on the purple side. So that's why that doesn't have a fabric picked for it. But, oh yeah, because these are the fabrics I was looking at. This one that I got from 123 Stitch called Lilac, 32 count lilac, or if I wanted to go with this, which is a 36 count Edinburgh, so green. And I actually have both of these pulled out for that one and for this next thing that I want to stitch, which is this, and it's out of a magazine I got at the thrift store, Crossstitch Needlework. Stitch and Needlework. What year, month? 97. August of 97. Anyway, I think that the stems are so cute. So, I have the threads pulled for it. But I couldn't find this fabric. And so I was debating about doing this fabric. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I might have to swap out the pink, but I couldn't decide. And so, yeah. So, this, maybe this. And whatever I don't use for one, I will use for the other one for this. So that's my plans there. Still planning on finishing this, which I started Christmas Eve, I think. I think I started this Christmas Eve, this Blackbird design, early Christmas morning. It was in my basket, but I think I took it out because it's not a high priority right now and won't be until closer to next Christmas. Sorry for the crinkling. It's just that the plastic doesn't do well with the lights. I'm working, one of the other things I'm looking forward to stitching, Judge Not, with the cute little sheep by Plum Street Samplers. I just love the sheep. Different designs, very fun. Hopefully it won't be a super long stitch. A couple hundred long and I think 90-ish high. So that should be fun. This was also one that I got at the beginning of last year thinking, oh, I can knock that off in a year. I didn't even touch it. And it's this. Lavender and Lace, Winter Angel. I think she's beautiful. I love all the angels. So, and I actually have the fabric for her and our colors pulled. There's the Twilight fabric. Yeah, 32 count Twilight. So, I'm excited about that. I stitched one of these for my mother, and I don't remember what it is. The Christmas Angel, maybe? I'll have to go back and look. Maybe I'll have to have her send me a picture. I stitched it years and years ago, but it hangs at her house over her bed. So that's on the radar. I got this last summer, Land That I Love by Teresa Kogert, which I would love to have done by July. We'll see. I know how well I'm doing on that. I have another Teresa Kogert that when I saw it, I loved it because it has red birds, and I love red, and I love birds. And it's the Newcastle bouquet. And I have it all kitted up right there. Sorry for the glare. All the fun colors. I love it. I love the colors in it. I love reds. I love greens. I love the border, which I think it's going to be repetitive, so I hope I get through that. And I love this little moth or butterfly. I did not have the straw linen that it was on, and so I have instead this wren, Newcastle wren. And I'm not going to hold these up all nice and beautiful, but look at the colors. I think they'll be okay on there. So what do you think? Doing okay? Yeah, it's not quite as yellow. Yellow is the straw, but that one's all together. And then the last two things on my radar are ones that I'm going to have to insert a picture of because this one I actually printed off the page for. They were ones that I got off of an Etsy shop, which I will put below because I think it's called X Stitches or X Stitch Pattern 88. And one of them, and this is huge, but I love roses. And I love that pattern. I don't know why. It's so not like anything else that I have. I think it's because I like pink roses. Anyway, so yeah, a basket full of pink roses. What more do I need? Hanging in my living room or above my bed. And so I printed that one off, but I didn't print off the cover sheet for the other one. And it's one that Handwork Maniac is working on or has and is going to be working on this year. It's called Kingdom of Books, and I will insert a picture in maybe here. I haven't quite figured out how to get the picture like in the right spot. It keeps covering my face. You know, it's a practice thing. Or if nothing else, I will put it at the end. But I love that pattern. I love it. I love them all. Who doesn't? And then the only other thing that I've been working on, I know that I finished a couple of these in the fall. They were the wordplay, and I didn't pull the pattern. I think I actually flung this one because I was annoyed. Because I started to stitch Christmas, the Christmas wordplay by Brenda Gervais, but I got really frustrated with the colors on this. I don't know if they're showing up. There you go. That's what they look like. But I don't like the colors on this fabric. This fabric was great for October and November, but I think I'm going to have to switch fabrics because I'm just definitely not loving it for this one. So I would like to finish those. And that's all my projects. That's all my plans. I have a lot of plans. I have an awful lot of plans. For not a lot of time, because it's not like life doesn't have to go on, you know, work, family, church, people, all those good things. And so if I get that gigantic stack that I'm sitting in front of done this year, that will be amazing. Anyway, you've heard about my life and seen some of the current preoccupations that I have. And if you've enjoyed this or found any part of it useful, which I don't think any of it was useful, but it's entertaining maybe, hit the subscribe button, click on the like button, and click on the bell so that you get a notification when I put out another video. I appreciate you all coming to chat with me for a while, and I really enjoy watching all of you and hearing about your lives and seeing your projects and stitching. And unfortunately, I sit with a piece of paper and pen and make a list of, oh my gosh, I love that one. You know, should I ever feel the need to buy anything else again after this gigantic pile gets done. Anyway, I like hearing what's going on and appreciate all the time and effort that everybody puts into their videos, and love to see it. So I would love to see you again and love to hear your comments, and we'll see you next time. Happy stitching!